Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss, where today I'm sharing some updates in the world of science fiction. Mainly, I want to share some of the information released during the Star Trek Day event last week that includes something about the series Star Trek Picard that has come out since the latest trailer and how it ties back to a very important plotline from the series Voyager, as well as an update on when the third season of the Orville will be released from one of the cast members themselves. Before I get into that though, please don't forget to drop a like on this video, as it really does help get my videos out to a lot more people. In case you missed it, last week Paramount held a Star Trek Day event where each series got some time to discuss where they are at and debut a new trailer or some other news. All in all, we got 3 new trailers that include a mid-season trailer from Lower Decks, as well as a big character reveal teaser from Strange New Worlds, and release updates from any series that had yet to have one. Star Trek Discovery will premiere their 4th season on November 18th, 2021, and during the panel, Wilson Cruz, Blue Del Barrio, and Ian Alexander all stated that the character Gray will regain their body at some point this season after teasing this transition late in the 3rd season. Producer Michelle Paradise also stressed that even though Saru left the Discovery at the end of last season, that Doug Jones was still a full-time cast member and that they would find ways to incorporate him back into the story. The 4th season promises a brand new threat that is reported to not be an individual or possibly even a malevolent force, so it will be interesting to see what this challenge is after the lackluster reception of the Burn plotline in the 3rd season. I thought the season was pretty good as a whole, especially the Mirror Universe episodes, but I agree that the Burn explanation felt flat in the end, so I expect the show to come back strong this season. Star Trek Prodigy is a brand new animated series that I am really excited for, and at the same event the cast and crew announced an October 28, 2021 release date. As this series will be 10 episodes in length during its 1st season, when the 4th season of Discovery debuts, it will mark the first time in 20 years that 2 different Star Trek series will be airing new content at the same time. The trailer was really beautiful and had some fun reveals itself, including our first look at the villain, the Diviner, voiced by legendary actor John Noble. I think that people might be sleeping on this series because they think that it will be just for kids, but I see it as Star Trek just expanding their universe with content that is a different tone. If you look at Marvel, they are doing the same thing right now with their properties on Disney+, as no 2 have the same tone as the one before it, and this creates a more diverse catalog for consumption. The debut season will start after Lower Decks finishes out its 2nd season, which, as I stated earlier, released a mid-season trailer and also announced that the 3rd season was well into production and that writing would begin soon. I've been covering each episode this season, and I will also link those videos in the description if you would like to see them. Lower Decks is a series I think a lot more people need to take a chance on, especially if you are a Star Trek fan that has watched every episode and knows every reference, because a lot of cool ones pop up. But the Strange New Worlds panel was the one that most people were waiting for, and it did not disappoint, by debuting some shots of the set and a cast list that has many ties to the history of the franchise. The characters they chose are very fascinating, and since I did an entire video on them, I won't get into it here, but in case you want to watch it, I will link it here and in the description. The panel also announced that the series will debut in 2022, but an exact date was not given. It is probable, though, that the series will debut after the 2nd season of Star Trek Picard, which was revealed to be returning in February of 2022. This series also debuted a shocking trailer that I broke down after it was released, but longtime fan of the channel Thomas Hill pointed out something in the trailer that I actually didn't catch, and I wanted to break it down because I think it is really cool. He correctly states that at one point in the Picard trailer, you can see Picard at a table, and the man he is speaking with has been seen in Star Trek before. When I first watched the trailer, I assumed that this was a scene in which Picard and Rios had been arrested, which is no doubt what the trailer wants you to believe. But on further review, it is obviously not an interrogation room, as you can see boxes in the background, and this makes the scene look more like a basement. The actor in the scene, along with Sir Patrick Stewart, is named Jay Kearns, and some of you may remember him as Hutch from The Shield. But he also had a part in the series Star Trek Voyager in the episode named Relativity as Lieutenant Duquesne, who served aboard a time ship in the 29th century. Now it is possible, of course, that Star Trek cast the actor in a different role, but with everything we know about the 2nd season of Picard and how it will be shaped by changes in the timeline, it would make a lot of sense for this character to show up. In the episode Relativity, Duquesne enlisted the help of 7 of 9, another current Picard cast member, in an attempt to stop someone from messing up the events of the timeline. It is definitely an exciting development, and I can't wait to see how it plays out next season. Now on to another sci-fi series, the Orville, and we finally have an idea of when we will see the long-awaited 3rd season of the series. At a convention last week in New Jersey named the Sci-Fi Summit, 2 actors from the series, Mark Jackson, who plays Isaac, as well as Penny Johnson-Gerald, who plays Dr. Finn and also played Cassidy Yates on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, were speaking with fans. Of course, the question came up about when we can expect to see the show, and while Mr. Jackson answered with a vague response of 2022, Penny Johnson-Gerald said that the rumor was that the series would debut in February. Hulu is usually not great at promoting their series, but hopefully we'll get a trailer soon, possibly in October. Ms. Johnson-Gerald also stated that each episode would be at least 70 minutes long, not counting any ad breaks, and Mr. Jackson added that each were like mini movies instead of the episodes that we are used to seeing. This lines up with a lot of comments that people who work on the show have been making since filming began about how much larger this season is compared to others. This new and grandiose scale, along with the continued restrictions put on production crews due to COVID, are to blame for the long waiting period, but it sounds like the end product will be worth the wait. Also, I got this information from Egotastic Funtime, a cool Orville YouTube channel that you should definitely check out if you like the show. I also wanted to mention briefly that Norm McDonald, who voiced the character Yaphet on the Orville, has passed away. I found out this news after I was actually finished with the script and was doing some fact checking, so I'm pretty shocked by the news, as I'm sure you are. Mr. McDonald started his career as a writer on the series Roseanne, and then gained a lot of notoriety from his time on Saturday Night Live in the 90s as the host of the faux news segment Weekend Update. Watching American YouTube channels now, I often see the influence of dry satire that Mr. McDonald portrayed, as he had a style that was all his own. I've been a fan of Mr. McDonald since his time on Saturday Night Live, and I really enjoyed his type of humor. I thought he was a perfect fit for the Orville, and I know that he will be deeply missed by those that knew him. The report states that he passed away after a private battle with cancer and had been battling the disease for 9 years. Mr. McDonald was 61 years old. Thank you very much for clicking on this video, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?